All right, way wicked cool. We got the beautiful, what I call the dirty smoky eye going on. We definitely did the, look up for me please. We definitely did the eye shadow first for this look. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm taking concealer and I'm kind of cleaning up right along the bottom of the smoke to make it look real crisp before I do the foundation. So I'm using the edge of my brush just to create a nice, even though it's a dirty look, we're still creating a clean line. Turn towards me, please. We're still creating a clean line along that smoke on the bottom before we put on the foundation. And we're gonna do a lot of contrast with this look. Already, of course, the eye shadow is a strong contrast to the skin. So we're gonna brush on foundation, and I'm gonna give her a little bit more coverage than usual for this look. So I'm gonna take but I don't ever start with like a bunch and so, oh, I'm gonna do more foundation, so I'm gonna really lay it on thick. Instead, I'm still gonna work in thin layers. And right now, as I'm stroking the foundation on this side with the brush, it's drying over here. So what that means is when I come back to that side and want to put more foundation over the first application here, it's going to not remove the first layer. If you keep putting wet foundation over the top of wet foundation, it just keeps removing it, and so you're kind of not getting the results you want, and most of the makeup ends up way out on the side of your face, and that's just not good. So I'm just brushing and stroking and getting things out. Looks beautiful. And now I can do a second layer. So I'm going to come back here, I'm going to add a second layer. And what it's doing is it's sticking to the first layer. And so it's creating what I call buildable coverage. So and you can do this with any foundation just about. I don't think you have to buy a foundation that says buildable coverage, because they all will do that if you do this technique. And the technique is letting it dry a little bit before you put more on. Now if it's really creamy, you can powder it a little bit before you put more on, but just be careful. You know, if you get too much powder and you put the foundation back over the top, it can kind of look streaky and you just don't get the right effect. It doesn't look like skin anymore. So that looks really good. We've got, she's got beautiful skin, which makes me happy. So I don't have to work that hard, but I have really good coverage through the center of the face. So now let's share with you a mattifying technique. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take powder and we're just going to dry the makeup. Now this is different than mattifying. Right now I'm just drying the makeup. I'm patting general powder over the foundation, and I just keep patting it. The reason I'm not stroking it at first is because it's wet, and my little bristles here just might streak and stick to the makeup. So I'm mattifying it first a little bit by using my brush, and then I'm going to just stroke off the excess, and that's really helpful, just like that. Now the next step is a little bit more tricky, and let me get my foundation sponge out for you. So this is a wedge foundation sponge. So what I like to do, excuse me, Sai, I'm gonna put this up in front of you, is I'm gonna run my powder, my foundation sponge over the powder, so it's sitting there on the sponge itself. Now there's a lot on there, so I have to be careful. So next I'm going to push that powder into my hand. And all I'm really, look, does my hand look nice? But all I'm doing is pushing that powder into the puff. Now, turn towards me, I'm going to mattify. So I'm taking my sponge and I'm pressing this powder into her skin. And this, by doing it this way, you just don't get a heavy build-up look. You just get a nice matte finish all around the eye. Oh my God, that looks so good. Just like this. Get it up just above the eyebrow. And what's great about the sponge too is it gives you the ability to place it exactly where you want, the control you need. That looks really good. All right, so there you go. A nice, beautiful mattify skin for the dirty, smoky eye. If you're watching this at MakeupGourmet.com, I've listed my current favorite products to achieve this look. Click on one and try it. If you're not at MakeupGourmet.com, go there now to see my favorite product picks for this look, as well as everything else we have to offer. How to apply, what to buy. MakeupGourmet.com.